There's this tree on the property, and it has a life cycle of 3 years, where every 3 years it drops whatever it drops, and fruit, whatever, I don't know. And the other few years, there's nothing. There's nothing at all. It's not a problem. And last year, with everything going on, it hit me just how crazy that is. That not even double digits, single digits, 7 years, everybody at that moment who was alive and born and everything, breathing on their own, or not technically, yeah, everybody would be legally able to drink in only 7 of those cycles. It was amazing to me that so much of life would be different, that I would be, I don't even want to think about it, but it was amazing to me because I've already been here for a few of them, and now it's like so much in my own life has happened since the first time I'd seen that. So I just could not get over how weird it was. So that's what today is. Time is weird. Let me explain. Hello. I am Dave. Hi, I'm Dave. Hi, I'm Dave. This is Dave Splains, and I screwed up when I made this video originally, and I really am sorry about that. This is not going well, but this is like the 5th time that I've tried to record this, and honestly, I don't like to record this. The last time I recorded, you know what? Let's get on point. So time is weird. Now, for you, it's a few minutes into this video. For me, I've been down here standing on this cold concrete floor with no shoes on for the past hour. It's weird. Last year, I tried to do a Lego train track in the snow. Was that this year? Yeah. And it was supposed to like show how much work was spent developing something like that. And then you'd get a video of like the train ride with a little camera, a GoPro camera on the train going around the whole thing. The whole thing would have taken only about 1.5 minutes at best. I don't even think it took a minute. And that was with a lot of errors. We never made the video. I'm thinking about making the video, but it's summer, so I guess I would have to do an outdoor track. It's still going to be the same concept. It still takes a long time to set up the track versus running it. But, you know, no one ever really notices how much work is done in the background. For an engineer like me, it takes months, but, you know, people who use it on the front end are like, oh, cool, I can just click like this and then see that. Oh, neat, that's fun. It's nothing. And that's not even including the amount of time that it took, you know, like generations to get through building computers and designing software to actually get there. So, you know, I mean, it takes a long road to be able to get to just, So, I guess that's just the crazy thing about it. Is just, you know, for somebody on that end, all of this is pretty easy. We're now 4 minutes into the video, 4.5 if I actually am able to, you know, cut some things in and maybe put in my new intro, which is not that great now that I've seen it. But I mean, hey, it's my first one. Give me a break. Hit the like button. So, I mean, for me, I got out of the military in 2009. I spent active duty military in 2009. I came out, I went back to school. I was in school for a semester before the military, and 4 years later, I got an associate's degree. That's because there's a lot of story to that. Some schools are not as good as other schools as far as actually trying to get students to pass. And honestly, I think it's easier to get a bachelor's degree than an associate's degree. But 4 years after I got that degree, or after I left the military, I got my first degree. And then it struck me that 4 years later, now after I got my first degree in electronic engineering technology, I became an electrician, worked for a while, and then I became an Uber driver because it paid better. And I went back to school. Now, because I already had the associate's degree, I could transfer a lot of that credit over. But then 4 years after I got my first degree, I got my second degree. And I had a kid and was married. And, a lot of other stuff that I'm just not ready to talk about yet on here. But then at the time we were paying less for daycare than most people were, because we had it through the university as a student and as a broke student. and everything else, discounts came down and we ended up not paying that much. Well, at the end of the summer after I graduated, I was notified that the daycare would cost twice as much. And so I went back into school. Now, most people are like, how in the world did you do this? And I'll explain. So I was told basically on a Tuesday that I had to become a grad student or start paying twice as much for daycare, or move and try to find a cheap daycare that I wouldn't want my kids to go. Anyway, well, I got told on a Tuesday, and by Thursday afternoon, Friday, I was a grad student. And most people are like, well, how did you do that? Because you have to schedule a GRE test, you have to pay the fee, your scores have to get processed and get forwarded to the college. That could take a month. I got it done in 3 days. I didn't take the GRE. I took advantage of a loophole, which is not advertised at all. I mean, I had to go digging, and what I found was that if you have 12 credits of graduate school and you got the good grades, you could transfer those credits into the graduate program, and you could then have your 12 credits and skip the GRE, because you already obviously were able to do well in graduate school for 12 credits. They're like, okay, well, fine. So there's also another thing where it turns out that in order to become you can get into grad school for up to 12 credits, but you are not considered a full member of the graduate school. So it's kind of weird. You're a student, but you are a student who is not trying to get a degree. So it's actually called a non-degree seeking student. So you can do this for 12 years, or 12 credits, and then, 12 credits and then transfer. Now, there's only two reasons why you would do this. It's either A, it's because GRE is extremely expensive, or B, it's because you didn't have much time. I mean, there's other reasons too, but I think that's the two main reasons. Is just, or, a bad test taker even. I had all of those things. Like I take tests actually fine. It's really easy. Just keep on going, and then if you have time at the end, go back and fill in what you can. It's not hard, but sorry. But I was broke and I had very little time, so I became a non-degree seeking student and got, over time, 12 credits that I transferred into business school. Well, business school was fun. There's a lot of things where if you think with common sense and ethics, I'm not going to badmouth the business school. I will say this, though. I found the data and computer portions and the analytics a lot more interesting than I did any of the other stuff. So I switched and became a data science student. So now I'm a data science student with a background in IT business management. The whole thing is like just, it's amazing to me what has happened in the last 12 years, okay? In the last 12 years ago, I was 12 years ago I was in Washington State, out in the Pacific Northwest, imagining what it would be like to finally get out of the military and go home. I had just found out that my basic training had not counted towards my 4-year contract, and that I had to do 4 years plus 5 months. And I was just returning home. Actually, 13 years to the day. In 2009, I was home. I didn't have a girlfriend. I was just catching up with friends from high school on Facebook, learning about Facebook. I was starting my first degree, and everything was weird. And now I have a wife, I have children, I have a home, I have 3 degrees, I have multiple companies that are not that successful, but together I'm happy, at least. Still not that successful. But thank you to my new subscribers. I'm up to 41 now. But yeah, it's crazy what has happened in 12 years. And now everything is just crazy, as you can hear possibly in the background of what's going on above me. So many different things have happened. And, you know, for some of you, like, you might be feeling down, like none of this is ever going to happen. And let me tell you, when it happens, when it does happen, it's going to happen in one big wave of just not stopping. It's truly amazing how it just... So, yeah, time is crazy. In 12 years, I mean, every 4 years I've gotten a new degree. And now I'm finishing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still might go back. I still kind of want to go back for my doctorate. I'm just really excited because now I just got an email that the teacher, the professor, emailed everyone that in the next 24 hours, I'm going to know my last grade. And now I'm already at 1A. I'm looking for a second one. And no matter what the grade is, as long as it's passing, I have a 12-year-old bottle of scotch. That is correct. See, that was the whole thing that I was kind of like leading up to here, is that this entire thing in 12 years. So in the time it took to make one bottle of scotch, I went from the military, got 3 degrees, had kids, got married, a lot of other stuff, and even started up a YouTube channel where I have 41 subscribers. which is awesome, really. And now, once I get that last grade and everything is cemented in, I'm going to crack open that bottle. Stay tuned. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you like. Hit that notification bell so you know what I got. I'll see you in the next one.